I'm looking for all the baddies all over the world. Ladies, where my baddies at? I'm bad, you bad. Where my baddies at? I'm bad, you bad. Where my baddies at? I'm bad, you bad. Where my baddies at? Yeah. Real bad on the prowl. Heard you was next, but I'm up now. Yeah, I'm shining like bling blow. And I see a couple haters in the crowd. Yeah, drip, drip, drop, I'm juicy. Don't really care what you say. And we all on Ducey. It's your birthday, girl, go crazy. Now make it clap and get low. Yeah, now back it up a little more. Yeah, now bring it up slow. You need a stage, the way you putting on the show. Now grab your bestie by the hand and let her know she bad. Said grab a baddie by the hand and let her know she bad. Where my baddies at? I'm bad, you bad. Where my baddies at? I'm bad, you bad. Where my baddies at? I'm bad, you bad. Where my baddies at? Yeah, I'm fed up, so shut up, don't need your opinion. I'm about to count up your pension. Get up, I need your attention. Hurry up. Keep calm, yeah, never in a rush. See a baddie with a big butt. She a stallion, don't get bucked. Now make it clap and get low. Yeah, now back it up a little more. Yeah, now bring it up slow. You need a stage, the way you putting on the show. Now grab your bestie by the hand and let her know she bad. Say grab a baddie by the hand and y'all know what to do. Where my baddies at? I'm bad, you bad. Where my baddies at? I'm bad, you bad. Where my baddies at? I'm bad, you bad. Where my baddies at? Yeah. If you bad and you know it, then shake it when you show it. If you bad and you know it, then shake it when you show it. If you bad and you know it, then shake it when you show it. If you bad and you know it, then shake it when you show it.
Have a seat.
I'm just going to be standing back up. I'm the one that's arguing this motion.
All right, have a seat.
I have a hard time getting up.
State of Arizona versus Lane Jeffrey Myers, CR 2025-1454. Hold on just a minute here.
It should be.
Yeah, 1454. Motion for media request. Parties' appearances will start with the state.
Rachel Stiles for the state.
William Parr, Mr. Myers. I don't know if the other case is also here where Mr. Myers represents himself.
No, we're only here on cameras in the courtroom for the 1454 case. So before I hear on the motion, I will note that I found that any personal audio recorders are obtrusive, distracting, and otherwise prohibited in this case, as with the earlier case. So I'm ordering that no personal audio recorders be used during this proceeding. Anyone who attempts to record this proceeding in the courtroom or otherwise be disruptive, I'll order the COs to remove that person from the courtroom. All right. We have a motion or request from Mark Brown. Are you Mark Brown, sir?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Let's have Mr. Brown come up right over here in the corner where that microphone is. Then we could pick you up well. So you sit right there in the jury box in that corner. Yeah, you just have a seat right there. That microphone's hot, so you can we can hear you well. Okay.
Trust me, I love.
So, Mr. Brown, you've asked.
Yes, sir. Yes, Your Honor, I do.
All right. Why do you want to record these proceedings?
For transparency, and I got it. I've been doing this for 6 years now, and I got a ruling on that. I'm going to. Can I approach the bench?
Give it to my bailiff, and she'll give it to me.
Okay. See, how many copies do I need here? So here's one for the judge, and here's 1, 2. Page 2, this happened in, page 2 got missing, and I was trying to find it. By this number, you can look that up. This is Judge Gordon's ruling.
I have page 2 on here.
Okay, that at the bottom, that page 2 is a mix-up. If you look, that's the rules for, that's page 2 of the rules on 50-4 at the city court. So, yeah, so that, all that, the page 2 is not part of this. That's my mistake.
Okay.
So stipulate, but if you go to this, it's December 26th of 2018, case C201. So if you go to there, you'll get page 2, but all the rest of it is accurate.
Okay.
It's just so you know. So anyway, and page 7 is the one that, page 7 is where, that's to this case. Just a little brief thing on it. I had injunction of harassment, just like him at city court, 3 of them, okay? The first one was, I went to court and lost on justice court, and then it went to you. And you, the second one, the first one you ruled on, and you threw it out, not on the merits.
Me or somebody? I don't think that was my case.
Is there another Metcalf in this
No,
court?
no, only me. I don't recall that case.
In 2019, it's a long time ago.
Okay.
So it was 2018 or 19, right at the end of 18 or the beginning of 19. So I had 3 of them, and it's the same thing. It was a public officials just about this case. And in that case, I appealed it because they said I had to get permission from the judge, like they are now on 122H. Well, when I was under the injunction, I had to follow all the rules. Well, 122H allowed me to tell the judge that I was going to audio record, and I didn't need permission. All I just had to do was notify him in advance. So I did that, and they said I couldn't do that. Why I was under that injunction, I had to listen to their injunction. It says I couldn't do that. Then once I put the appeal in, argument number 2 on page 7, I'm going to read this real quick. So argument number 2 is on this case. Okay, Brown argues that the Pima County Justice Court misread rules 122 and 122.1, and they're still doing it. Okay, so reply, Brown argues that the Pima County Justice Court misread rules 122 and 122.1 to the extent that the Pima County Justice Court read the rules 122 and 122.1 to require Brown to get judicial permission before recording outside the courtroom in the courthouse, and to always get judicial permission before using a personal audio recording inside the courtroom. The court agrees with Brown, okay? And then it goes on to say, the injunction incorrectly states that Rule 122 requires Brown to secure judicial permission to film outside the courtroom and in the courthouse, and potentially overlooks 122H. And that's what I've been saying all along. 122H, I just have to notify you I'm going to be audio broadcasting even. Back then, I was just audio recording. I wasn't broadcasting. Then it goes on to say, the limit exception for this rule, the personal audio recorder in the courtroom, the court therefore will remand the case back to Pima County Justice Court so the injunction can be modified to reflect a correct or more clear reading. So it went back to the court, then they said I just had to notify. So when I was under the injunction, I was able to do that. And then they came out with these administrative orders that said everyone else couldn't. I could do it and everybody else couldn't because I had an order to, but everyone else should be able to because they have to read 122.
So, but in this case, are you acting as a member of the press, or are you just here
Yes.
on your, okay?
I'm
So,
a member of the press. I'm
Okay, so
Arizona United News.
that's a different rule that the normal 122 procedures
Yeah,
apply.
but I'm doing it under, I'm doing it under C. And then at the end of this on 122, it says, under 122D, it says, denial or limit of coverage. A properly submitted request for coverage, and I put in a property request, should generally be approved, but the judge may deny or limit the request as provided in this paragraph. A judge's decision on the coverage request or objectivity to a coverage is reversible only by special action. I was going to do a special action, but as you know, I'm the one that put in, I went to the federal court. I filed it last week. I don't know if you got it yet, but that's me also. I'm trying to get my rights restored in the courtroom and to keep what happened in here before you came in. All these guys surrounded us. It made it hard for me to concentrate on what I was trying to do because all these guys surrounded me and telling me to do something.
I told the officers that you could not record until we had the hearing.
Yes, and I'm not recording.
Okay.
But, and I also got this order from you that says I can't, I got, you put that order on me and it says I can't. So that's why I'm not. Last time I was here, they wouldn't let me in the courthouse. They made me surrender their phones to them to enter the courthouse, and that's prior restraint. I'm a.
Hold on. No one's doing a prior restraint. That's when you can't say what you want to say. No one's ordering that. The courtroom itself is open and you can sit here if you behave and listen. The question is whether you can record either audio or visual. That's not a prior restraint.
Well, I can't, like I said, by the rule you just read, 122H allows me just to notify you. But if he makes everyone turn their phones off, everyone that wants to do 122H can't. All they have to do is notify you or your staff, And when I was going through this, they gave me these blown up rules. Dick Tracy and Anna Meadows, and they gave me all these blown up things. And I said, great, can you guys read it and follow it? Because them guys can't make everybody turn their phone off when you're.
Hold on, I have control over the courtroom and I can order things to make sure that the proceedings happen respectfully and quietly and with dignity. And if there are people here in the courtroom causing a disruption with recording, that is not consistent with that. And so I have the absolute authority to deny anyone the right to record anything.
But I wasn't No one was making it, no, we was just
Been a
sitting
lot
there.
of, there's been a lot of chaos involved in this case.
Yes.
Unusual amounts.
From the prosecution, I got it, but
No,
it
not
wasn't
from the
me.
prosecution, no.
It wasn't me. It
It's-
never, the problems never was me. You know, it never was, and that's the problem.
Well,
See,
why do you want to record it?
I want to record for transparency, because last time, when Anna Meadows told me that morning on that last hearing, because you approved it the day before, I thought, great, a judge that was really standing up for us, and then I could sit at home and watch it on my TV. I'd rather be at home. If you would have put it up like you said you was going to put the audio and video up there, then you came on the 15th, I think it was, and then reneged on it. So that I was at home, I was going to rush here, but I couldn't get here in time, and I wanted to see everything. And when I was listening to it on the audio, you kept saying to Lane Myers that he was being threatening you because of the way he was looking at you. Well, I wasn't here to see that. I wish I was in there to see if that was happening, because you can't see that over the audio. And then that's why I would like to be here, and I would like to audio and video record. And the other courts always let me, like the city court lets me do just the judge. I put my gimbal up here and put it just on the judge. He won't, and then the other places on this court, they let me record anywhere. And Justice Court, I did it several times. I do my own case. I did it dozens of times. This is the only time someone ever told me I couldn't do 122H since I had this injunction and before I appealed it. But before then, I couldn't do 122H.
Okay.
But I should be able to walk into the courtroom and tell your staff that I'm going to be audio broadcasting. I know I can't turn it on until you're on the bench, because it says in there that you can't do it when the judge is on the bench. I've been going over 122.1 for 6 years. I've been in jail 4 times for it, you know, and I've never been convicted of it, but I've been harassed by security, especially Dick Tracy and Mary Jane. You know, I was in an arm cast for a month and a half because of Mary Jane, what she did to me in Justice Court. And in Justice Court's even different, because they got common areas that you don't have to go through security. You can go to the treasurer. You don't have to follow 122. In the rules of 122 in the courthouse, it says that when the courthouse is used for other things like Justice Court is. But I still was attacked by the security from this court. They come over there too, Mary Jane and Dick Tracy both. And I'm just trying to get my rights to record so I can find out what's happening here, and I don't got to rely on somebody else telling me that was sitting here, their memory. My memory's bad. You know, I like to go home at night, and I can't hear very good. You know, I'm a disabled veteran with hearing problems. I like to go home at night, turn my stereo up and listen and watch, you know, and watch it. I like to see the body. I would have liked to seen what Lane Myers was doing to you, staring you down or whatever. I would have liked to see that, to see if that was true, because I didn't hear any threats, and you kept saying that he was threatening you, and I didn't hear it. But then you went on to say that he's looking you down and he's doing other things. I would just like to be here to witness that. And if you would,
Well, you can be in the courtroom to witness it.
yes, I know. But what I'm saying is, I was going to do it from home because you said that you was going to broadcast the audio and video. And if you would do that, I wouldn't have a problem here. I would go home right now if you broadcast this one at 3 o'clock to everybody, and the 2 people you denied, the Phoenix Times and RP, let them do it too. If they have the link, they should be able to do it, and anyone should be able to watch it live. And if they would do that, I wouldn't have no problem. Transparency is my main issue.
Okay.
I want to be transparent. I don't want to have to drive down here and pay your parking meters and go out there every 2 hours and feed the meter. You know,
Okay.
I would rather sit at home and watch it. So if you was to say that you're going to broadcast the one at 3 o'clock, I'll go home, we'll forget about this, and then Phoenix Times can do it, RP can do it, anyone else, they don't even have to be here to watch it. Then we can all sit at home, and there won't be look at all the money in the security that's costing, because I'm just trying to exercise my First Amendment right as a press,
Okay.
freedom of the press.
Let's hear from the parties.
Can I say something, Your Honor?
No, let's start with the state.
Your Honor, this court has been live streaming the proceedings, that it does provide the audio to anybody who wants to listen in. So that's been available. The courtroom is open to the public, so anybody who wants to see it, they're able to come into the courtroom. 122H only allows personal audio recorders, which is a device used to record audio only. The problem is they're using cell phones. Cell phones are devices that can record much more than just audio. And so they're not the typical audio recording device. If they were holding a like handheld recorder, that would be a different device, but that's not what they're coming in with. They have the device that is capable of filming, and that's really hard for court security, court staff to monitor to make sure that there's no recording done of the people in this case. This is a harassment case. Everybody in this case involved, the parties, so it'd be the victim in this case, the court, the attorneys, have all been subjected to being put on YouTube and broadcast. We have the live streaming, so it's open to the public so everybody can hear about it and they can come here in person. There's no reason for them to be able to audio record it separately from that, and there's no reason at this point to be filming anything that needs to be broadcasted. And so to try to maintain the integrity of this case, I think it is important to not have them coming in with their cell phones and video recording it so that it can be broadcast, because that's leading to further harassment in this case.
Okay, Mr. Parvin?
Yes, Your Honor. Real briefly, the reason I want to go first is I understand you have a contested hearing right now. We will be prejudiced if we don't get our hearing as well today, and that's why, for that reason alone, can we handle this another day and just proceed so we get our hearing today? That's the important part, Your Honor, is that you can get the hearing scheduled.
We're here, hold on. We're here on the Mr. Brown's request to film these proceedings.
I'm just saying our position is that you need to get to your other case that was scheduled that's important, so we get our fair hearing at 3. My concern is if we go any longer here, there won't be time for our hearing at 3.
All right. Mr. Brown, I'm going to deny your request in this case. The courtroom itself is open to the public. Anyone who can follow the rules of decorum can sit and watch everything that happens. We also live stream over our YouTube channel that was made available to us during the pandemic, and which I've continued to use. I'm a big believer in allowing transparency, but there is too much it's too disruptive in this case by the number of people who've been wanting to come in to record. We can't have staff constantly looking at everyone's cell phone to make sure that they're following the rules. Typically, when we have a reporter who wants to record, they are very reliable, follow the court orders. And as I said before, there's a certain level of chaos that's happened in this case, and I'm trying to tamp that down. It's hard to follow, to make sure everyone's following the rules. So I'm making a finding that use of personal auto recorders would be obtrusive, distracting, and therefore I'm ordering no personal auto recorders in this case. And I'm denying also the request for cameras in the courtroom for the following reason. I'm concerned about the impact on the victims who have been at a lot of these hearings, of whether they would be videotaped sitting in the gallery, which I would not allow. And again, it's hard for us to watch everything all the time. That's the main reason. I just think it's really hard, and it affected the proceedings here. And for us to have, we have 6 COs in here to make sure that this is running well. Obviously, we can't do that in every courtroom all the time. So that request is denied. So I'm ordering, consistent with the other case, that the request for audio or video recording or a personal audio device is denied. Further ordering that no audio or video recording devices or personal audio recorders will be allowed in the courtroom or outside the courtroom within the courthouse for any hearings in this matter. And I will notify court security. So, Mr. Brown, I appreciate your arguments. Obviously, you have the right to file special action with the Court of Appeals if you don't like my ruling, and I think the rule provides for special action jurisdiction. And I don't know if you know how to do a special action or not, but that's filed with the Court of Appeals.
We looked into that, but I just went to federal court.
Okay.
I already filed it.
Okay,
You
that's
should have
great.
got it by now. But there are other, can I say one thing?
Sure.
Quick? So the other thing is, if you was to do, like he was saying, audio broadcast it from audio and video from your thing, all the problems you mentioned would be gone. Every one of them would be gone if you just if you would audio broadcast just like they did at this original hearing.
I am auto broadcasting.
Audio and video broadcast, just
well,
like they did at this original hearing. in this courthouse, when they did this to him, they was doing both. I sat
Right.
at home and watched that.
Okay.
You know, so I know you guys got the equipment to do that. So if you would do that, that would alleviate all my problems and I could sit at home and not have to be here. If I could watch it
Okay.
audio and video. So I just ask that you audio and video it, and then I'll be okay with it. And
Okay.
that'll do away with all the problems that you just said.
All
No
right.
one will be out here. You won't have to have 6 COs in here.
Sure.
And then we'll all be happy. So if
Okay.
you could do that for me, I'd be very happy.
Yeah, I'm going to deny that request, but I appreciate you making the argument. With that, we're adjourned in your excuse. We'll take a break and then we'll come back, in this case, at 3 o'clock.
Lawsuit stands. Please, federal court.
You want me to remove the staple so you have this?
No, I don't care.
You don't want this? Sure?
My wife wrote that.